Welcome back to the channel for Right Time Watches here in Denver, Colorado. Today's going to be a fun video as we've got a bit of an interesting watch to share with you. This watch comes from Seiko, but what's interesting about it is that it's a mechanical chronograph, something that's a little bit uncommon in today's unique catalog. Before we dig into the details, we'll invite you to subscribe to the channel so you catch all of our upcoming videos on amazing and unique watches like this one. The Seiko Presage SRQ025 has a 42mm diameter, a 49.5mm lug-to-lug, and is 15.5mm stick. It's powered by an 8R48 automatic chronograph movement made by Seiko. This watch is interesting for many reasons, not only because it's such a beautiful design, but for me, I thought it would be fun to share an affordable automatic chronograph, as this watch comes in at just $1,900. With such a vast and strong catalog, it would seem that Seiko would have more chronographs available, but they're a little bit more rare in their lineup, and this is a beautiful one. This comes from the Presage line and is very much more of a dressy piece. A fun element to the design here is the red 12, which came from pocket watches being converted into wristwatches at that time. It began as a high function because the crown was located in different spots and it could get confusing at a glance. And now we have it as a red 12, and it's a great design element in modern times. The red accents beautifully with this gorgeous white dial and the blued hands. This chronograph has a 3-register layout with 12-hour, 30-minute, and 60-second registers. For symmetry's sake, this is probably my favorite chronograph layout on a dial. The watch is housed in a high-polish stainless steel case and feels significant as it's a little bit thicker with that chronograph movement inside. I love the high polish as it gives a classy and somewhat expensive look to the watch. You can see we have a beautifully domed sapphire crystal on this piece as well, all coming together to create a very gorgeous timepiece. I really like the distortion that this crystal gives when viewing it at different angles of the watch, yet head-on it's still extremely legible. The right side of the watch has a nice Seiko signed crown and the chronograph pushers here. This watch comes on an attractive and useful alligator leather strap with a very nice Seiko deployant buckle here on the underside. This really helps with that dressy and classic and classy feel to the watch. As a bit of a treat to the owner of this watch, we get a view of this automatic chronograph movement here through this see-through case back. It's maybe not the most highly decorated movement, but we do have some very nice finishing with that customized work there on the rotor. This 8R48 should prove to be an extremely reliable movement. This movement takes after the standard chronograph operation mold, with starting the chronograph using the top pusher, stopping it using the same one, and you can reset using this bottom pusher here on the right. Because of that bulkier movement, this watch wears a little bit large for a dress watch, but for someone like me with a little bit of a larger wrist, this is definitely going to work in that category. With the generally rounded design, however, and those shorter lugs, this should work for many others as well, if you don't mind a larger face. I know for many in the community, you find your favorite watches and you collect, and eventually you get to the point where you think you should add a chronograph. That's a big step and often takes you into a new price category, but if you go the route of getting a Seiko, as always, you're able to save a little bit because they have such powerful economies of scale. This watch is great looking and well built and would be a worthy contender for someone's first chronograph. This red 12 chronograph is a wonderful addition to the Seiko catalog and would really fit in nicely in many people's collections, including my own. If you'd like to purchase this watch, give us a call or visit us online at righttime.com. As always, thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you next time at Right Time.